Good morning and welcome to the beach. This is your daily DeFi harvest, and it's 11:15 and markets are down a little bit today, which is sort of half expected considering markets were up yesterday. They go up, they go down. I'm trying to make this a quick one, but we do have one interesting thing that happened yesterday that I didn't notice. We did a rebalance if you were here, and somehow, some way, if we have a look at our MetaMask here, I end up with $500 of Bitcoin, which is nice when you end up with that way, but that was actually reflected on VFAT here, where we lost some of our money, and that happens because when you rebalance, VFAT, I don't know whether it's the VFAT that is the issue or whether it's Uniswap that's the issue, but sometimes you end up with tokens as a result of your rebalance that you weren't expecting. So what we're going to do today is we are going to replenish our BTC position, and we are going to throw that Bitcoin back in. It is at the bottom of the range right now, so we don't have to add any USDC, but we might, since we're in there, do a tiny little bit of rebalance and drop it down maybe 1% more. So if we have a look right now, switch over to USDC, we're covered from 116.5 to 120. So if we drop that down to 115.5 to 120, we'll still make some money. And as I said, we're in there right now, so we might as well do it. So let's go through the daily harvest in fast forward, and I'll see you in 30 seconds. Alright, and we're back. We have harvested everything. If you watched as it was going by, I had to mess around with it a little bit and just wait a few minutes for a better path to get through to make more money and, well, not lose as much money on conversion. So, in terms of slippage, I bounce between 0.1 and 0.5. If I don't get what I want, I just go back and do some more work and come back 30 seconds or a minute later, and you end up with a better deal. So, as you saw, that's how it works. So we got our money, and now let's figure out what we're gonna do with BTC. So we have, we'll switch over to here. So we're gonna keep 120.068 as our top. There you go. So we're not changing the top, but we're gonna get close as we can to 115 as we can. We don't need to go down as far as there. You can call this basically a snuggle rebalance, and so we're not really changing much we're not changing anything on the top. We're just extending down to the bottom. So we were at 3% before. Now we're at 3.8, so we'll make a little bit less in terms of APR, but we'll make something, which is better than nothing. We could go a little bit tighter, but let's give it a little bit of room to breathe, because that's how it works. So you'll notice I haven't done anything with my USDC first. I am going to need some of that to get into this position, otherwise I'd be converting some of my BTC that was left over from yesterday into USDC, which is inefficient. So we are going to sorry, never mind. We are going to rebalance, and then we're going to add in. Okay, so we are actually going to have to I wonder if I can do that in one deal. You can't change the range and add at the same time. So what I was going to do, I was going to send USDC and CBBTC, so you're sending both. I have 192 of this, and I got a bunch of that. But because it's out of range, I can't do both in the same transaction. So I'm going to go back, as I was doing before, go back to rebalance. Get really close. Oops, we'll switch to USDC. We'll get really close on the bottom. Say 0.2, and then we'll go back up. And we're at 3% now, 3.1. Let's stick with the same 120 as before. So I'm trying to get this number here to match this number here, and it does. There you go. So we will rebalance. And there we go again. You see, it's going to give us $1,300 of BTC to make this happen. So we're going to have to throw that right back in. This is one of the issues with doing the rebalances. You end up with weird stuff going on. And there you go. You got 1,300 of BTC. Just what I wanted. So now if we go and we have a look, we'll be back in range here, but more importantly, we're going to end up with $1,800 roughly of Bitcoin. And hopefully we can use all that and the USDC that we just harvested and throw that back in to keep on working with this. So I'm going to refresh this page. I could wait, but I'm impatient and you're on the video. All right, so we're barely in range here. We're going to increase, and we're going to use, all right, good. So we can use up all our BTC. If I click on max here, or if I click on max on this side, it won't work. So we're using our 1,800 of BTC and 97 of our existing USDC, and that will put us back into action with all of our money. So this is going to be a triple confirm. And we're done. Awesome. So now we have more money back into this pool here, and we still have a few bucks left over. Let's have a look inside MetaMask. We're back to having $200 in the account, and we have $100-ish of USDC. Great. We'll keep that. I suppose I could use that to increase the arrow position, and then we don't have to worry about sending any money over to Solana or anything like that. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? So we'll increase here. We will send USDC and arrow. So we'll max out our arrow, and we'll send most of our USDC, and we'll go through the same thing again, and that should leave us it's bouncing around a bit because that's what it does, and yeah, so it'll use most of our 62 out of 95, so we'll end up with 30 bucks, and that is fine. Cool, so that is in there. And we're now back to the point where we were before. We have everything roughly invested. We have ETH is barely out of position, not worth talking about. It'll probably change back in by tomorrow. We're betting long, so we want it to go higher. We don't want it to go lower, but it happens. So yeah, we've got 3 positions in range. That's good enough for today. So no change on the spreadsheet. We're just going to say we did not buy any SOL. So we'll go, I don't know, stack? What did I call it before? Compound. Let's just call it compound so that we know what we're doing. I added these in before we started just to make life faster, and there you go. That's your daily. Have a look at the chart. We're down a little bit, of course, and we are at 167,228, down from yesterday's 171. So yeah, it goes up, it goes down, and that's how it works. So everybody have a great day, and thanks for joining me. Cheers.